to be honest, it's getting to the point where it's becoming a little bit of a tense issue. But I think he understands why.
Prince Louis once again stealing the show. The fourth in line to the British throne, showing off his signature antics during Victory in Europe or VE Day in London.
Snow pressed quietly against the old stone walls of Windsor, as if the whole night wanted to stay silent. Lights inside the castle stayed low, glowing through the cold air like they were guarding something no one was ready to face. Hours felt heavy, and even the hallways carried a strange stillness, the kind that only arrives when a family is bracing for news they never wish to hear. Before dawn touched the sky, senior staff moved softly, speaking in short breaths, their faces pale under the dim lamps. A message had come through, the kind that freezes every step, but no one dared say it aloud. Somewhere deeper inside the castle, doors opened and closed slowly, like the building itself was holding its breath. And then, without warning, 2 royal signatures appeared on a document meant for the public. King Charles, Prince William, both confirming something the world wasn't meant to learn this early.
I speak to you today with feelings of profound sorrow.
Something connected to Prince Louis, something that shifted the air inside the palace long before the announcement reached anyone outside. What truly happened is not as simple as it first appears. Stay with us. The truth unfolds ahead. The room where the truth trembled. The corridor outside the king's private study felt colder than usual. Not winter cold, but the kind that sits under the skin, like the world itself is holding its breath. A thin strip of light slipped from under the heavy wooden door, stretching across the carpet like a fragile lifeline no one wanted to touch. Inside that room, time wasn't moving normally. William stood by the window, hands locked behind his back, shoulders stiff as though trying to hold the entire palace from collapsing. His reflection on the glass looked older, tired, almost lost. Behind him, King Charles sat at his desk, fingers pressed to his forehead, eyes fixed on a folder he had opened but could not bring himself to read again. And there on the corner table lay the small object no one wanted to acknowledge. A folded report, thin, quiet, and deadly in meaning. It was the reason the entire royal household had been called at dawn. It was the reason no one had slept. A soft knock broke the silence. Anne stepped inside first. Her voice was steady, but only because she had practiced it on her way down the hall. Has Catherine arrived? William didn't turn. She's with Louis. He woke up early again. The pause after that word again hung heavily in the room, like it was carrying more than just a routine update. Charles lifted his head slowly, the weight in his eyes making the air feel even tighter. Is he still? He couldn't finish the question. He didn't have to. Anne nodded gently. Yes. The trembling hasn't stopped. William's jaw tightened. The report on the table seemed to throb like a heartbeat, demanding someone to pick it up, to face what everyone already feared. He's too young, William thought. He doesn't deserve this. But thoughts like these had no place here. The monarchy wasn't built on wishes. It was built on reality, cold, sharp, and often merciless. A sudden tapping sound came from the hallway, quick, hurried footsteps followed by Catherine rushing in with a scarf still around her neck. Her cheeks were flushed from running, her breath uneven, but her eyes were the kind that could break anyone who looked too closely. He keeps asking why his hands won't stop shaking, she whispered. The room froze. Even the lamps seemed to dim. Charles stood, but his knees looked unsteady. For a moment, he wasn't the king. He was just a grandfather, a helpless one. Where is he now? Charles asked softly. In my room, Catherine said, brushing her hair back with shaking fingers. Charlotte is reading to him. George is pretending everything is normal, but he can't hide how scared he is. Her voice cracked at the end, and William moved toward her, placing a hand on her shoulder. She didn't cry yet. She didn't want them to see her break before she understood the full picture. The advisor in the room, a silent figure until now, cleared his throat. The palace medical team is waiting. They need your final sign-off. The words sliced the moment like a blade. Catherine closed her eyes. William exhaled slowly. Charles looked at the floor. lost in thoughts he wouldn't dare say aloud. Anne was the only one who found her voice. "We cannot delay this. Not with the press sniffing for any unusual movement. Not with cameras outside the gates." Catherine finally walked to the table and laid her hand on the report. The paper felt cold, wrong, like it shouldn't have existed in a world where children laugh, run, and dream without fear. She opened it, and the room held its breath again. Lines of medical notes, observations, early concerns, patterns that had been quietly tracked for months so the public wouldn't panic. Words like monitoring, episodes, genetic markers, and possible long-term implications. Her lips moved, but no sound came. William stepped forward, reading over her shoulder. Every line was another stone added to his chest. "I knew something was off," he murmured. The way he held the spoon, the way his fingers curled. I should have interrupted, her voice trembling. "No, don't blame yourself. We both saw it. We were both afraid to say it out loud." Charles walked closer, his breath shallow. "I want the truth. All of it. No more hiding." His voice didn't sound like a demand. It sounded like a man begging fate to show mercy. The advisor opened a second file. "This is the part you weren't ready for yet." William's heart dropped. Catherine's fingers tightened around the edge of the table. Anne's posture shifted, ready to absorb whatever came next. And Charles, his hand trembled so visibly that he clasped it behind his back to hide it. "The condition may not be temporary," the advisor said quietly. "It may affect Prince Louis's future duties, possibly even his public role."
Prince Louis stole the show over the weekend during Queen Elizabeth's Platinum Jubilee celebrations in London.
Silence, a silence so thick it felt like grief. William closed his eyes as if struck. Catherine's breath hitched. Charles stepped back like the words had physically shoved him. Anne whispered the truth no one else dared to say. This could change the line of succession. Land for a moment, the entire monarchy felt like it was standing on a crack that had just split wider. Shadows over Windsor. The afternoon light slanted through the tall windows of Windsor Castle, painting long stripes across the polished floors. Dust motes floated silently, catching the weak sun as if the room itself was holding its breath. Outside, the gardens were quiet, snow-crusted and untouched. But inside, a storm raged in invisible ways. Catherine sat in the small sitting room. Louis curled up on the sofa beside her. His tiny hands gripped the edge of a blanket, and his eyes, wide and searching, flickered between her and the muted world outside the window. He spoke in fragments, whispers that barely carried. "Why is everyone so sad?" She stroked his hair gently. "They're not sad, darling. They're worried because they love you." Her voice was soft, but inside a tempest of fear and guilt churned. She had known, in the back of her mind, that something was wrong long before the official announcement. But the reality hit harder now, seeing him small, vulnerable, like a bird caught in a storm he could not escape. Down the hallway, William paced. Each step echoed, bouncing off the walls and amplifying the anxiety he couldn't shake. He had met with advisors, doctors, and even childhood tutors of the other children, trying to piece together a path forward. Nothing had prepared him for this, a child so full of laughter, suddenly shadowed by silence. His mind replayed every small moment he had ignored, a stifled giggle, a clutched toy, a fleeting look of worry in Louis's eyes, and the weight of each memory pressed down like the snow on the castle roof. Anne arrived quietly, without announcement. She moved through the room like a shadow, assessing every detail. Her sharp gaze softened only when she saw Louis. Sitting cross-legged on the floor, he drew pictures with shaky hands, the crayons trembling almost as much as he did. She knelt beside him, offering a silent presence rather than words. When she spoke, it was measured, direct, yet warm. "You don't have to do this alone." The king's office, a floor above, was a different kind of storm. Charles sat at his desk, reading through reports and notes, each line a dagger. His advisors tried to maintain calm, their voices professional, rehearsed, almost cold. But the king knew every statistic and every observation, could never measure what it felt like to watch a grandchild struggle. He pushed the papers aside and closed his eyes, thinking of William and Catherine, and the long lineage of royal children who had borne invisible burdens in silence. Back in the sitting room, a small incident cut through the fragile calm. Louis dropped a crayon, his tiny body trembling as he reached to pick it up. Catherine leaned down instinctively, holding his hand. "It's okay, take your time," she whispered. But the trembling didn't stop, and the little boy's eyes flicked toward the window, toward the world he once embraced so freely, now distant and intimidating. William entered the room quietly, kneeling beside his son. For a moment, father and son were just that, no crowns, no titles, no history pressing upon them. "We will fix this together," William said, his voice low, almost breaking. Louis looked up briefly, searching for truth in his father's eyes, and for a fleeting moment, a small spark of hope flickered. Anne rose and addressed the adults, her tone steady. "The priority is him, not events, not optics. He needs space, structure, and calm. Everything else comes after." Her words were decisive, slicing through weeks of unspoken worry. The advisors shifted uncomfortably, unused to such clarity overriding the usual bureaucracy. Charles nodded slowly, silently granting permission for the extraordinary measures that would soon follow. As the day darkened into evening, the castle seemed to inhale collectively, as though recognizing a new chapter had begun. Louis, exhausted but somewhat comforted, rested against Catherine's shoulder. Outside, snow fell more heavily, muffling sound, adding to the feeling that time itself had slowed within these walls. Inside, every glance, every touch, every whispered reassurance became a lifeline. For William and Catherine, the day was a test of endurance, love, and resilience. For Charles and Anne, it was a reminder of the fragility even the strongest institutions could not protect. And for Louis, it was the beginning of a careful, delicate path toward healing, guided by parents, family, and the rare understanding that sometimes the most powerful protection is simply presence, patience, and unwavering attention. Outside the castle, the world remained unaware, but within, every heartbeat, every breath, every quiet word carried monumental weight. And though shadows lingered over Windsor, a slow, fragile light had begun to seep into the corners of this wintered palace, hinting at hope beneath the storm. The family confronts the truth. The evening had settled like a heavy curtain over Windsor Castle. Snow pressed against the windows in quiet, relentless waves, muting the world outside. Inside, the drawing room smelled faintly of burning logs, but the warmth could not touch the tension building among those gathered. William paced slowly near the fireplace, hands clasped behind his back, mind running in circles he could not control. Catherine sat on a velvet armchair, Louis's blue blanket folded neatly beside her, a fragile symbol of comfort she hoped would shield him from what was coming. Princess Anne entered, her footsteps soft but deliberate. She had always been direct, unyielding, yet in her eyes now was a rare softness. She surveyed the room, took in the worried lines on Catherine's face, the tight shoulders of William. Without a word, she understood the gravity of the moment. Why would they make that decision? Is it because prosecuting would inevitably open up uncomfortable questions about who else knew and what else was systematically covered up? Charles spent volunteering for environmental projects and learning about diplomacy through his mother's work. He wasn't in a rush to take on royal responsibilities, but clearly understood the meaning of them. His sister, Lady Louise, also set an example by choosing education first and serving the crown later, and James seems to follow that same balance. Over the past year, royal watchers began to wonder if his role might grow. As King Charles's plan for a smaller, more efficient monarchy took shape, there was space for reliable younger family members to take on light duties. James was the perfect fit. His elevation to prince recognizes his maturity and reliability, while still letting him focus on education. It's similar to how Princess Beatrice takes on selective duties without being a full-time royal. Prince Edward himself told a royal biographer that this was a way to support James's future while keeping his youth and independence intact. Princess Anne has said the same, that it's not about giving out titles for show, but about building support for the monarchy's work. Both siblings agree that the crown survives through cooperation and renewal, not by staying rigid. This move also raises questions. Does being a prince make life harder for James? Or does it give him new opportunities? For him, it's both. It opens doors to meaningful causes, perhaps youth, environment, or heritage work, but it also brings more public attention. As he prepares for university, maybe even studying abroad, he'll have to balance personal freedom with public responsibility. When Buckingham Palace quietly published the announcement, there were no crowds or ceremonies. It appeared only as a short note in the court circular, the official record of royal events. Yet its meaning was big. King Charles, using his authority, gave his nephew the right to use the His Royal Highness title, bringing him formally into the fold of working royals. This step also refreshes the royal lineup, adding energy where it's needed. James's place in the line of succession stays the same, but he now has the official ability to take on royal duties. The king's decision reflects both tradition and practicality. He's seen the family's challenges firsthand and knows how valuable steady, trusted support can be. It also connects to previous updates, like when Queen Elizabeth II extended royal titles to the Cambridge children in 2012. These careful changes show how the monarchy adapts quietly, keeping its foundations strong. Now James can represent the family at events, opening ceremonies, supporting charities, even joining overseas visits, all while continuing his studies. It's the balance his parents have always taught him to keep. Princess Anne and Prince Edward both spoke openly about it. During the 2025 Commonwealth Summit, Anne said, "The strength of the monarchy lies in its ability to adapt. Giving James this title allows him to help without adding pressure to the main line." Her statement reflects her practical style. After decades of dedicated service, she knows how much teamwork matters. Edward shared similar thoughts with the BBC, explaining, "Our father believed in preparing the next generation. This helps James step in when needed, supporting William's plans with calm focus and no sense of rivalry." These comments show a united family working with shared purpose. King Charles, even while managing his own challenges, sees in James a new layer of strength, young, steady, and ready. Sophie's influence continues to guide him, reminding him to stay grounded no matter the title. This move feels right, balanced, respectful, and quiet. It doesn't shift power or cause conflict. Instead, it adds stability. Soon, James might take on roles that connect to his family's legacy, continuing the Duke of Edinburgh's award program or working with the Princess of Wales on mental health and education projects. These small, meaningful roles represent the monarchy's way forward, steady change that honors tradition while embracing the future. The next step for Prince James. King Charles's decision to grant James, Earl of Wessex, the title of His Royal Highness. Prince James reflects a calm, thoughtful, and purposeful approach to leadership. In a monarchy that has seen fewer working royals in recent years, James's maturity and steady nature make him a valuable addition. Unlike some family members who have been caught in public drama or controversy, James has remained grounded, polite, and reliable. His quiet demeanor and sense of responsibility make him ideal for a role that demands discretion and dedication rather than showmanship. From the earliest public appearances, James has demonstrated a strong sense of composure. During the late Queen Elizabeth II's funeral, he stood with dignity, blending respect with modesty. At King Charles's coronation, he again appeared quietly confident, aware of his place without seeking attention. These small, measured gestures reflect a maturity that cannot be taught. It's innate, shaped by careful upbringing and thoughtful parental guidance. Edward and Sophie, his parents, have long emphasized the importance of practical growth over mere titles. Sophie once said, they have to work for their place in life. Titles are responsibilities, not shields. This philosophy has guided both Lady Louise and James in how they navigate royal life. While Lady Louise chose education first, taking a step back from public duties, James's path aligns with the monarchy's evolving needs. By accepting his HRH title at this moment, he shows readiness to contribute meaningfully, without overshadowing the central figures of William and Catherine. Timing is essential in this decision. With shifting public expectations and the monarchy striving to remain relevant, Charles's choice signals both continuity and adaptation. The king isn't expanding the royal family unnecessarily, he is reinforcing it thoughtfully. James, though only 17, represents a bridge between the older generation's experience and the younger generation's energy, creating a balance that is increasingly crucial for the monarchy. Royal commentators have praised the move as sensible and timely, emphasizing that James is being introduced not as a celebrity figure, but as a committed, responsible member of the royal household. James's immediate role will focus on smaller, manageable engagements. He may attend charity events, environmental initiatives, cultural ceremonies, and programs like the Duke of Edinburgh's award. These opportunities allow him to gain practical experience in public service, preparing him gradually for more significant duties in the future. This measured approach ensures that his introduction to royal life is steady and purposeful, providing visibility without overwhelming him at a young age. The monarchy today is carefully balancing tradition and modernization. Older members like King Charles, Princess Anne, and Prince Edward provide experience and guidance. Younger royals, including William, Catherine, and now James, bring energy, innovation, and a more relatable presence to the public. Each generation learns from the one before, blending lessons from history with the demands of a modern world. For James, watching his parents model quiet, effective service has shaped his understanding of what royal duty truly means. It's about contribution, responsibility, and presence rather than personal gain or attention. His hobbies and interests further demonstrate his balanced approach to life. James enjoys sailing, cycling, and volunteering, pursuits that allow him to remain grounded and develop skills valuable both personally and publicly. King Charles has recognized these qualities as markers of readiness. By granting him the HRH title at this stage, the king is expressing confidence in James's maturity, judgment, and potential to serve the family and the institution faithfully. Education remains a top priority for James. Even as he begins public duties, he is expected to continue formal studies, ensuring that his personal development keeps pace with his royal responsibilities. This approach mirrors the upbringing of his sister, Lady Louise, and other young royals who have balanced education with the early stages of public service. By combining learning with experience, James will gradually build the skills and confidence needed to handle more visible and significant royal tasks in the future. The HRH title also strengthens the royal family's internal structure. While he is still 16th in line to the throne, James now has the authority to participate in official engagements and contribute to public initiatives. This step adds capacity to the monarchy, easing the workload for William, Catherine, and other senior members. It's a strategic move, not a ceremonial flourish, designed to fortify the family without disrupting the established line of succession. Beyond the immediate practicalities, the decision carries symbolic significance. It reflects King Charles's broader vision for the monarchy, to honor tradition, while ensuring the institution adapts to the modern world. By quietly elevating James, he sends a message that the crown values dedication, discretion, and competence. The move reinforces the idea that royal duties are earned through service, not inherited through ceremony alone. James's role is likely to include support for causes close to the family's heart. Environmental initiatives championed by King Charles, youth engagement programs, and cultural preservation projects are all areas where he can contribute meaningfully. Working alongside William and Catherine, He can support projects like mental health awareness,
believing that rehabilitation programs could help veterans to address their mental health issues.
early childhood development programs, and regional visits, strengthening their efforts without creating overlap or competition. This integration is designed to maintain harmony within the family. By introducing James gradually and thoughtfully, the monarchy ensures that younger royals contribute without tension or rivalry. It is a subtle but powerful method of succession planning, building a capable and dependable team while safeguarding the clarity of the line to the throne. Princess Anne and Prince Edward have also highlighted the strategic nature of this move. In interviews and public statements, they emphasized that the monarchy thrives when responsibilities are shared across capable shoulders. Anne remarked that James's role lightens the path for William and Catherine without stirring unnecessary currents, reflecting her pragmatic approach to service. Edward added that the decision allows James to contribute effectively while preserving the family's unity and focus. Their guidance underscores the careful thought behind every step of this elevation. The public will gradually see James at official events, though not in a headline-grabbing way. His appearances are likely to focus on areas where his contributions can be tangible and impactful: community programs, youth initiatives, and regional engagements. This measured approach ensures that the public perceives him as a working royal committed to service, rather than a figure seeking attention. As James approaches adulthood, his responsibilities are expected to grow. He may continue to support environmental initiatives alongside William, participate in youth outreach projects in partnership with Catherine, and represent the monarchy at cultural and charitable events. These duties will provide him with practical experience and deepen his understanding of the crown's role in public life. Importantly, James's elevation reflects the monarchy's careful planning for continuity. With William and Catherine poised to lead the next generation, James provides reliable support, ensuring that the family's work can be sustained without interruption. This strategy mirrors lessons learned from previous generations. The crown endures when responsibilities are shared thoughtfully, and capable members are prepared to step forward when needed. In essence, James is positioned as a quiet yet effective contributor. He does not seek the spotlight, but instead represents stability, readiness, and commitment. His calm nature, grounded upbringing, and strong moral foundation make him a reliable addition to the monarchy at a time of transition and adaptation. James's new title is more than just a formal honor. It reflects King Charles's vision for a monarchy that respects tradition while staying relevant. James embodies this perfectly. He understands duty, honors history, and is ready to take on meaningful responsibilities. As part of the working royal family, he can support senior figures like William and Catherine without competing with them, helping the family work more efficiently and stay united. He will participate in charities, youth programs, and community projects while continuing his education and personal growth, showing it's possible to balance duty with life. James's journey also highlights a bigger truth. The monarchy thrives on steady, thoughtful work, not just attention or headlines. Dedication, maturity, and responsibility matter more than titles. Moving into adulthood, he acts as a bridge between generations, bringing energy, reliability, and a fresh perspective while honoring tradition. Quietly, he strengthens the monarchy and helps carry its legacy forward. Ultimately, this is more than a title. It's a statement. It shows the monarchy can adapt, evolve, and stay strong, with younger royals like James ready to step up. For the public, it's a reassuring sign. The royal family is prepared for the future, and James is ready to play his part in shaping it.